Louisiana Beer Reviews Irish Style Dry Stout. They're showing a Nonic glass, but I'm going to use this other glass. I do have one of those though. 4.2% alcohol, that is low for the United States, average for Ireland and the United Kingdom. But anyway, State of Brewing, Wanakee, Wisconsin, brews this for the 2022 Aldi Advent Calendar Variety Pack. 24 cans, 24 different styles. Best by July 15th, 2023 at 41 minutes past midnight. And that was this means it was probably canned on July 15, 2022 at 41 minutes past midnight. Okay. Irish style dry stout. So it's going to try to mimic Guinness, I guess, but without the nitro effect. So think of Guinness Stout 4.2 bottle or can, but without nitro and with carbonation instead. So it's going to be a little different, you see. It's a gloomy day outside. It is a cold day outside, and that's why I'm inside, and I'm not going back outside for months if I have to avoid that. Beige head of foam and a very dark brown appearance, essentially black, but if it was bright sunshine outside, I think I'd get a little glint of red. So can a Wisconsin brewer do a good job mimicking Guinness? Now, at Aldi, I recently bought a 6-pack of Maguire's. They call it draft stout, although I don't think it's a draft beer, so I don't know how to get away with calling it draft stout. But whatever the case, it's also 4.2. And I got the 6-pack for $6.99. And I'm wondering if this is the same beer just repackaged for this advent calendar. It's possible. And, you know, if I had another can here, I'd do a blind taste test, but I'm not going to go by. Well, I can't. The advent calendar is all gone anyway. I wouldn't pay $49.99 for another one anyway. Some people told me they got theirs on clearance for half price, 25 bucks. There was no clearance sale here because every case they put on the shelf flew out the store. So they weren't stuck with any leftover. It smells kind of like the Maguire's, because you get the dark roasted barley malt, a little chocolate, and there's no chocolate added, just from the chocolate malt. A little bit of that sour beer aroma. Smells good, but it smells like... Okay, taste. Lightly roasted barley malt. Like I said, a little bit of that sour beer flavor. It's like dark bread crust. Light to medium body. Let's say low medium. And of course a dry finish. It's a dry stout, meaning not sweet. Dry and sweet. That's your two polar opposites on that. Very sweet beers, very dry beers, meaning lack of sweetness. Not dry like, you know, it's liquid, so it's going to be wet all the time. It's liquid. But some of these beers are so non-sweet, they almost make you thirsty drinking them. And that's probably the reason for Bud Light being so dry. And then they're going to serve you peanuts and other nuts with salt, and you'd be eating them. Oh, I'm thirsty. And then you're drinking a Bud Light. Oh, I'm still thirsty, you know. So where in the past you might have gone to a bar and drunk 4 Budweisers. Now people go and they drink 8 Bud Lights. And my friend Paul said that's why they came out with light beers, so people could drink more and more and more and get drunk without feeling the weight and the, you know, it's so light. I said, well, you have an insidious conspiracy theory about it, but it's possible. The beer companies don't encourage it, not directly at least. Yeah. It tastes exactly like, this tastes exactly like Maguire's. And I'm wondering if that Session IPA whatever they're called, Hoppin' Frog or whatever, is exactly the same as the Session IPA that was in the variety pack, advent calendar pack. They might have just taken that recipe and canned it for the pack. Now I'm thinking that their Bach, there's another one coming up, the Bach. Is it just Breckenbach repackaged? When I looked up State of Brewing dry hop sour, they showed the variety pack photos on Untappd. But then they showed its own standalone pint can. It said dry hopped sour with a different can design, also from State of Brewing. I said, see, they don't just make, well, I don't know if they just, well, I know the company doesn't just make beers for Aldi. Maybe under the State of Brewing brand they do. But they also make beers for Trader Joe's under their Campanology assumed name. And then Octopi, which is really what it is, Octopi Brewing, they make all the Untitled Art beers, like the super high level craft beers. Not the grocery store level craft beers, but the real, you're going to pay for those craft beers. And the Untitled Art is dynamic, you know. But it's all how they want to price point it, you know. If you're getting a private label Irish style dry stout from Wisconsin for $6.99 a six pack, it's not going to be world class. It's not going to be anything great. It's like, you know, you bought private label store brand like Food Club or Surefine or Always Save canned whole kernel corn. It's going to be kind of ordinary but that's probably even a closer thing because like you put it up against Del Monte or Libby's or Green Giant. Is it really that different? I've never really done a taste test. I have a person I work with, and I've been knowing this guy for going on 50 years. He's like, I don't ever buy that kind of garbage. Food Club black beans. I'm buying, you know, Trappies or whatever. I say, yeah, but how you know the Food Club is inferior to Trappies if you haven't actually tried it? Now, if you do, and it is, and it's a blind taste test, fine. Now you've established that. But just by looking at the label and you passing a judgment, you know, you're up here in the Sierra Mountains drinking what are they drinking? Champagne cocktails, and then you passing judgment on how I run my family. So, you know, so he's got to look at it in that correct context. I am looking at this properly, and it's got to be the same. I'm telling you, it tastes exactly the same. And I've had that McGuire's like 4 times now. It's okay. I mean, it's good. My scores have varied. Okay, so don't tell me. Please don't say, I mean, you could tell me, I'm not going to get angry, but don't say, well, when you first did a solo of McGuire's, you said this about it. And now your score is this. I know, well, I'm not locked in. When I do a score, I'm not locked in for life. I can change my opinion. I've changed my opinion about certain movies, which I used to think were great. Now I look back and I'm like, yeah, it's not really that great. It's got a lot of flaws in it. And they just copied off of 2001: A Space Odyssey when you think about it. Or for instance, a certain movie. All right, so I don't really like movies, but you know, the same. Whatever the thing is you're looking at. So right now, I'm going to say a B minus, like 82. It's marginally good. You know, in a hypothetical sense, I would buy McGuire's again, but in reality, I probably never will. I'll just get natural ice. I've been really enjoying the Milwaukee's Best Light. Never thought I'd enjoy you know, like light beer. I'm enjoying a light beer, but that thing has so much flavor for what, you know, you're getting a 4.2% alcohol like this. Only 96 calories, like Miller Lite, but way cheaper. It has so many positive attributes. versus the negative attributes, which are minimal. This has some positive attributes, which is why it's coming in at 82. But yeah, it's not too exciting. So, but anyway, it is what it is, and that's what we can do with it. So, laissez-les bon temps relais, and I'm gonna. So, if you want to try this and the variety pack's gone, just get the McGuire's, and then I think you're trying this. And we're gonna end this review by saying, y'all go to Wanakee, Wisconsin, and tour the State of Brewing Brewery.